And is this part of the old road or is this the new road? Because I know they had a new road. This is part of the old road.
Yeah, man.
Because I understood they created a new, faster route across, or is
Not for us actually.
no?
Going to the grill.
Going to the grill, yeah.
Right.
So there's a okay.
So we just made that left turn off that.
Let's see.
What did they do? They widened the road and paved it, so it's really still the old road.
Right.
But they made some wider lanes and stuff.
Right. But for you, it's still the same.
Same track going
Okay.
to Treasure Beach.
Which helps preserve it as it is.
Yes, but boy, I tell you, with these new big trucks, we need some wider roads.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
I think roads are key for the country, you know, and that we lack.
Okay.
You know, from point A to point B,
Mm-hmm.
it takes forever to get there most times.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody, like I guess, would ask, you know, what's the how much miles from here to say Treasure Beach? It's about 69 miles. But you would answer saying it's 2.5 hours.
Right.
Because 69 miles for you guys would be what?
20.
Hour and a half maybe. An hour.
Yeah.
You know, so they expect it to be there in an hour. You know. So
Well, you know, it is funny when I see the people that going from a certain point A to point B in Jamaica might take 2.5 or 3 hours or so. And they said, "What? How big is the island?" I said, "No, but you're thinking about straight line,
right.
you know."
Right.
But you know, so what's that straight line? We have to go around and in and out and up and down and
Right.
and then they
Stop
kind of
and
get
go.
it, you know.
Right.
Which is why as soon as I make these little mini videos, so that people can see that, you know, no, it's not a straight line. It's
Oh, man.
you know.
True.
And in fact, now going to Kingston because my family lives close to like Mandeville area.
Right.
And so when you're leaving from them now, because they built all those highway systems, you know, all those better roads,
Right.
you basically sidestep all of this now. Like, so
Right.
the intricate little
Right. So
communities.
if you're leaving from Mandeville to Kingston, it's fast.
Yeah.
It's all good roads.
Yeah, straight. Like,
Except for Porous.
yes.
The inside of Porous is, you know, still small, but
But no, we bypass Porous now, don't we? I think. No,
No,
you're right. You still have to go through Porous. That's
yeah,
right.
it's the town area of
Yeah,
Porous.
that's right.
But after that, if you get to Clarendon Park, it's sweet sailing to Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
I remember you have to go through the town of Maypen. Oh my
Yes.
God, it takes forever.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. But that's the kind of stuff, you know, for us who are live abroad to come to visit and have time, we're like, oh, but what happened? Like sometimes I get someone said, how come, where's, I thought we are going to go through, and they said, no, man, we bypass that now, man, we don't stop through there anymore.
Right.
And then you go, what? I missed that, man, because that's the flavor, that was the flavor of our childhood, you remember?
Right.
It would be connected to you, and now, but I understand that when you live here, you want progress, you know,
You
need
want
things
progress,
to,
you want to move.
yeah, man, you know, you can't build everything for tourists and for the nice, quaint little experience.
It's good and it's bad
Progress.
because, say, from Montego Bay to Ocho-Rios, you remember those back roads to go to the
Yes.
beach, like right along the beach?
Yes,
A
yes.
person would sell like conch shell and they sell
It's-
stuff along the way.
Yeah.
Know that you bypass all of that.
Yes.
You know, so person would lose off selling them stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but for motorists, it's faster.
Yes.
You know,
And I know they build all these little parks. So like I know there's Melrose Hill. You know,
Right.
there are a place now where they put some of those vendors. So
right. But
But
still, it's the same feeling as
no.
you know, man, a little shred where you stop at your favorite one.
Exactly.
You know.
So I remember as a kid, you know, we'd stop at certain vendors on the road, you know, get your roast yam and your this and that, and
Right.
your fruits, and you know,
Everybody have their favorite person.
exactly. You know, now you go to the local mall, I feel like a mall. You stop at
Right.
all them fighting for you, and
Oh yes, this is a coaster.
okay, all right. So a little bit bigger.
Yes. Silvano. What's up, man? No, so I don't call her because I got mommy. Yeah, just reach the anchovy. Coming up. Where you reach? Right. so you might get to talk to her then. You might get to talk to her. Okay, okay. Oh, okay, maybe not to tell her because he's sick, you know. That's true. That's true. If I'm not working tomorrow, I think I'll come up here tomorrow. But I say maybe tomorrow or Friday evening we can go. Yeah, man, what's your workout still? Oh, okay. I say even for Jack's part, you know, so I make I do the ordering and then we can work out something. You understand? If we don't want to go too far, depending on the time and evening. Right, right. That sounds good too. You know, Sarge a good man and everything. So, I first time I come here, I we come here before. Him come here already? Alright, first time. Okay, okay. Right, right, right. Wow. Of course, when they're there and they have to work, you know. Right. Well, we can stay for next evening. If you need to call you tomorrow, we can go and I'll deal with it. Alright, Mr. Man. Alright, we'll go there. Alright, cool. Yeah, man.
So that was the town of Anchovy?
Yes.
Used to be one of those kids.
Yeah.
And I was up in Toronto the other day, and we're talking about Grand Market, because I guess it was a Grand Market event, and they were telling me that if I went to Grand Market, I'd likely have to walk back home because it's just the transportation and stuff, right?
Right.
And so of course then they started to tease me to say, yeah, but you couldn't walk that distance. That's too far for you, man. You can't walk them kind of distance then. So I said, you must be joking with me. I said, when I was a kid, I used to walk all over the place.
Right.
It was nothing you just knew that you had to walk, because the way that there's transportation now and systems of transportation, it wasn't the same. Because remember, I grew up in the 60s.
Right.
60s and 70s, early 70s.
Right.
So,
one or two person will have a pickup or so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now the whole thing about being driven, because literally I came on the heels of my parents' generation, who there was a time when where we lived, the roads weren't paved. It was like rocky, dirt road, and then marl road at one point.
Right.
And I remember when I lived there was no electricity. We didn't have phones. I mean, cell phone. People don't realize that we couldn't call anybody when anything happened. Really.
No.
Unless you went to the post office that had the one phone, which was a good distance away. Yeah, man.
Telegram.
So then I had to school them, because they feel like, oh, you live abroad, you're least used to soft life. I said, listen, man, I don't know what we used to do.
Yeah.
And it turns out that they're the ones now who, when I told them how far I walk, them said, what? You walk? No, man, nobody not walk them kind of distance anymore. I said, you see? So you assume wrong. I could do it. I did it.
Right. But even with the youngsters now, you don't see anybody in the bush shooting bird with a slingshot. We used to call it catapult.
Yes.
Nobody doing that anymore. Everybody is on the tablet or phone or some computer gadget or something,
Yeah, you remember gigs, right? Remember gigs?
Man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, like the ones we used to make with the wood and
put the nail in the head.
Exactly. And use the rope or cord.
Right.
And then you do the thing where you try to use your gig to knock out somebody else's
gig. Right. And I remember guys used to catch it in their hand as well, like
yes, I remember that. Yes.
Yeah.
All them little things that
man.
I do that. In fact, we were talking about this the other day, because I remember seeing these kids playing, but they had this like electronic ones.
Yes.
Like lit up and they squeeze something, they drop on the ground and
the yo-yo and
yeah.
I used to like get the bottle tops and straighten them out and put a piece of card in the middle, and you used to like yeah. Big difference.
Life has to evolve. Listen, it's the same story abroad, you know. Kids used to go and play. Kids don't play no more. Kids just kind of sit in their rooms on their computers, or if they go to an event, everybody's on their phone or their tablet. Even adults, actually, it's even bad too.
Yeah, man.
You go somewhere, everybody's standing on their phone.
It's bad manners too, man. Yeah, a function going on, everybody have their head down in their phone. You know? True. I won't say it. I do it as well.
I know. I was just here thinking the same. I'm guilty.
Yeah. So yes.
You know, to the point where sometimes I will suddenly realize I'm doing it.
Right.
And then I have to kind of, all right, let me finish what we're doing and just kind of put it away and just try to be respectful.
Right.
It's like when we have family gatherings, sometimes you have to almost insist, all right, everybody, put on enough device now.
Yes, you man. Because every somebody distracted, you know, they're distracted by the phone.
Yeah. Put on the device, them. We're going to eat. Or after we eat, why are we all sitting here on the device? We're together. That's why we come together. We come together to spend time together.
Right.
Everybody. And I actually have all these pictures. Even the other day when I was down here, and I was here for Christmas as well, and all my young nieces and nephews were around. And I have a picture of all of them sitting on the sofa, everybody on a device. None of them talking to each other. And to the point where apparently they were sitting right there next to each other, texting each other. Wow. So rather than talk to each other, if somebody wanted something, they just text it over to the other person. And so.
Wow. Come on, miss. You can't do some Saudi.
Oh, just for one person? Oh, I thought she was going to do a parade. All right, sister. I was reading about a lot of violence against children at one point happening here, like stories of kids being either killed or raped or abducted or murdered. You know, like I think there's a one about the fire. The guy set the fire to the house in Jamaica or somewhere like the Spanish town because the kid was gonna testify, or the kid was a kid who had evidence against him, or some such thing. I remember.
Right. Yeah, I mean, boy, we're getting crime in every angle right now.
But it seems though that the crime, I mean, I know people, I've met people who tell me they get held up and all that, but it seems that most of the crime happens between people who have something going on, like
each other,
you know.
Yes.
I mean, outside the scammers who basically just target mostly foreign people anyway.
Right. And them again is a bit hyped, you know, so, you know, I more think they fight against each other as well, you know. West, Clarendon, like West, like Montego Bay, Clarendon, Hanover, the crime has, you know, increasing in those parishes.
Yeah, because I remember when Kingston was the hot spot.
Right. But it's funny enough, you know, you go to Kingston, and everybody, if you're from the country, everybody will keep calling you, are you in Kingston already? Are you leave yet?
Right.
And when you go to Kingston, you don't really see the danger of Kingston. I mean, you drive through, everybody's doing their own thing, everybody doing their own business, you know?
And it's really the phenomenon, because I was as a kid growing up, I remember the big thing for anybody who lived in the countryside is eventually you're going to move to Kingston, because Kingston was seen as the ultimate, especially if you're a professional or anything like that.
Right.
Or for school or something. At some point it was like, no man, I'm not going to stay around here, it's too quiet. I'll go where the action is, and Kingston was one of the destinations. Unless maybe it might have been if you're going to work in the tourist business or something like that.
Right.
So is that still kind of a phenomenon, or people tend to stay put more now?
People tend to stay put more. Yes.
There's also a difference. When I was here last, my aunt was saying to me that she doesn't feel like there's any country and town anymore in the same way as it used to be, because pretty much a lot of the things that you could get in the town, like in Kingston specifically, people can really, because of the internet and the way cell phones and all of that, people can have a lifestyle that is, you know, similar. Like basically parties are everywhere.
Right.
You go where you need. People can buy. Everybody wearing the same clothes. Like, you know. So it's like
true.
Kid, when we were growing up, I remember that when you go to town, there was a certain style that people in town wear because that's what you could get in town. But
Right.
you couldn't get in the country parts. Now pretty much everything.
The whole country is
everywhere.
the same style.
Yeah, everybody.
Right.
Anywhere you go now, everybody. Even the place where I come from up in Trelawney, I see people step out. I'm like, man, you could be walking on the street of Toronto. Like,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. True.
In fact, sometimes people look better turned out. You know, spiffier. You have to, where you get them shoes, then, man? You know, like,
Right. Yeah, man. They tend to dress up all the time, you know, get themselves good.
yeah, it's a thing.
Yes.
Even if you don't really have much money, it's like you still want to look fresh.
Right.
Yeah.
Wanna look good.
One guy said to me, he said, no, man, you can't wear the same thing twice, man. You can't be on the road where people think you have nothing. You know, you mix it up.
Right.
Something fresh every time.
But that again too is that a lot of them spend all their money on clothes just to look good, and then they don't save towards nothing.
Right.
You know, they can be dressed up every day, but if they need to buy something else different from clothes, they can't afford it.
Right.
You know.
Bob Marley, anytime, every time, anywhere, anytime, every time. Oh yeah. And the police on this side are a bit better than the ones, because my experience of seeing how police deal with things when I'm here is like, what the hell? So they're better over here, or some of the same shenanigans?
It's a mix.
Alright.
It depends on who catch you that day.
Oh yeah. No. I won't ask you to compromise yourself on my video, so you can pull off. Don't say anything to implicate yourself. As I said to people, you know, no matter where you go in the global south, or what they call the developing countries, it's the same. You know, they always talk about corruption. Well, you know, when colonizers leave systems without doing a good, smooth transition, everywhere you go in the world, it's not unique in Jamaica, everywhere you go in the world, it's the same situation. In fact, it's worse in some places. You can't do nothing without give a man
somebody something.
Like literally, you can't, nothing happens.
That's not good enough.
Oh man.
So, if you're in the spot and you can tip somebody, you feel like it helps you.
Yes.
Think about somebody who's in the line way behind you. You know?
I was really struck when I was on the plane when it landed, and the baggage folks were coming through. I noticed that they did a thorough search of them.
Right.
So I guess they do a pre and post to make sure that there's no stealing, which I thought was a nice standard practice to have in place, just so it protects everybody. So, you know, you check me before, so you know I didn't have anything, so if anything missing, you can't blame me.
Right,
You know,
right.
it's like if a passenger even at some point tries to say that you might have done something, and say, well, based on our procedures, it couldn't have happened from our end because we checked everything.
Right.
Unless you're saying all of us are in on
good.
it.
Right.
You know? And so Treasure Beach has its own social scene for local people, and you find you tend to go out beyond Treasure Beach for that.
Depends on what you want to look for. I mean, if it's a dance or something,
Right.
you go out. We do go out, you know, like street dance or depends on the function.
Right.
Treasure Beach, as I said, it's pretty quiet, so we do have our dances and parties and, functions in Treasure Beach, yes. But sometimes you still take a drive out.
Okay. Because I know my friends where we were staying, I don't know if they went out already, but we were looking for where are the parties, because a couple of them, they wanted to go to some street dances.
Right.
And when we looked online, we're like, well, we're not seeing anything. So I guess
there's a big one, like 25 minutes out of Treasure Beach, this Saturday.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, man. It's gonna be big.
Oh no, that's unfortunate. We go to Portland.
Yes.
We leave Saturday morning.
Oh, okay. It's a long drive, man. Treasure Beach.
To Portland.
Yeah.
It's alright. We're tourists. Take our time and stop by.
Right. So your friends there, they have a rider now?
They have a drive, yeah, they drive.
Okay.
Yeah. They got a rented a car.
Oh, okay.
And they came down ahead of me together, so they just got a car.
Right. You're Jamaican as well?
I think everybody is Jamaican originally. Some of them might have been parentage.
Right.
Some of them might be parents. I make these little videos, put them on YouTube, and the amount of people who watch them, you'd be amazed.
Yes.
I guess Jamaicans who miss home, a lot of people comment, oh man, that reminds me of, or they'll point out little sections, oh that's where I live, and I was surprised. I used to just make them for myself, and just to record my experience, to the point where some of the videos I don't even comment. I don't know if anybody's gonna watch this, and then 6,000 views later, somebody says, oh yeah man. And not everybody can afford to come home.
Right.
When I first left Jamaica, I didn't come back for 20 years.
20 years.
20 years before I came back.
It's a long time.
20 years. And then once I started coming back, it's almost like I got hooked. I was like, oh, how could I not come back? Keep coming back. So I try to come back a few times a year.
When you came back after 20 years, the thing must look like so strange to you.
The thing that what was most striking to me was how incredibly beautiful the country was. Like when I was there, I don't think I noticed that. It's like, you're growing up, really, but because I'd lived abroad and heard people talk about, like the references about somewhere being, and because also you live through winter,
right?
And it's just a different environment. I mean, it has its own charm as well, but come back to a place like this and just the way the land, and even compared to other Caribbean islands. I mean, Jamaica, you can't even, I don't think I've seen a comparison yet. The only places I've heard of is maybe Dominica, which is very green and lush, and they say Grenada has some elements of it, but man, Jamaica just
different.
Yeah, man. Especially, I forgot when I went to Treasure Beach first time this early last year, and I noticed even how it's a little drier.
Right,
it's
a dry side. Yeah,
it's like a different. I mean, like you don't get that diversity in some of the other islands. Just to see that different.
Yeah, at least amount of rainfall on the south side.
Yeah.
Right now it's green and looking good.
It look good now?
Yeah, man.
Time of year?
Yes.
So the rain after the rain.
Some rain, late last year. So having the place looking good.
And I'm assuming you remember the jerk pork, right?
Yes, man. It's coming up.
All right.
It's coming up.
I don't, I remember I once came with a guy picked me up from the airport when I went to Blue Mountain. One trip I came down.
Right.
Now that's a place, man. I tell you. Have you ever been up to Blue Mountains?
I've been as far as to Strawberry Hill, Irish Town.
All right. Yeah, so you know the experience.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I was up there. I even did the climb. I did the peak.
Yes.
Did the peak.
Wow. Never been.
On my birthday.
It's magical.
Oh man, I'm telling you.
It's magical.
Those views, you couldn't believe.
Yes.
And the fact that when you stumble on little communities up there, you think, what? People up here, Jamaicans up here living like, just like how up here look like a neighborhood. People are there.
Right.
This is a
report, please.
Alright, fantastic. I just want to introduce you, just if you do you mind?
Next time.
Okay, no, I want to respect you.